duly posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. Would you all please stand and join in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. We have an audience participation.
Mr. Jonas, the floor is yours, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello, everybody. Hey, John, good to see old friends and new friends. How you all doing? Good. We're here tonight just to say thank you. Ask Mr. Mondale if I can come in and say thank you for what you have done. My family over the years, I shared with you in great detail the other day. And we're going to introduce a group tonight that are my team of advisors for an event that we're planning for next year that we're going to invite you to. But more important is, you know that this is a year of giving back. It's a year of saying thank you for all that you're doing. After being in that seat for 15 years, I have an idea how to pray for you every single day, and I appreciate the work that each and every one of you do. Mr. Martindale, I want you to know that you are a true friend, and it's a joy to have you as a friend. We're here to say thank you tonight for what you're doing, and the rest of you board members. If we don't take this thing right, as you know, I have a very special place in this heart of mine for the school board. And where God closes one door, He opens up another. And I'm going to reach back into a little bit of my life history just for a little snapshot and tell you what we're going to be doing next year. We have some gifts for you tonight just to say thank you, because last month I couldn't come to the appreciation, but I want to let you know how much we would appreciate you. On a personal note, I want you to mark down the date, August the 2nd, our annual Coffee with Coaches and Cops. This is our 5th annual one. Mr. Martindale was last year down at Insight for Living, and it is an amazing time where we honor our police departments and our coaches. And I know you know we got the best AD and coach in America in Jake Vizell. He's an amazing young man. And this year, our keynote speaker is Keith Davis. Keith Davis used to play at the University of Southern California as a middle linebacker, drafted into the New York Giants. He's a godly young man, a longtime friend of mine. After he got injured with the Giants, he came and joined the power team when I was the Crusade director there. So Keith is going to be becoming our keynote speaker, and this is our 5th annual one. And I'm going to introduce some people to you tonight, and I'll tell you a little bit more about them because we don't want to take a lot of time when we get out of here tonight. With me tonight is a group of people that I dearly love, and these are my team of advisors. What we're doing a year from now is what we call the Unity Crusade that we're going to host right here in Gunner, Texas. It's a Christ-centered event. It's non-political, and it's the author of the book, Jonathan Murphy, will be our keynote speaker. Jonathan Murphy is on our board of directors at Insight for Living, and we're going to be reaching to people all from the state level all the way down to the local level. And it's going to be a time where our takeaway is, what does John Jonas do to bring unity to his circle of influence? As we all know, we live in a very divided world. Now's the time to bring a message of hope and love and inspiration. But I want to introduce the folks to you tonight. These are my team of advisors. First of all, we have Evan and Stacy Nicole Simmons, who are some of my life coaches. They have many years of experience in education. And then Evan Brooks, who's a real friend of mine over the last year. They have both a biblical worldview, and we really care about the local school districts, communities, parents, and everything. These are my team of advisors that are helping me get ready to launch this into next year. Now, the date will be sometime next spring. As soon as we lock down the date and the venue, we'll let you know. Now, on a more personal note, I moved here in 1999, and I never regret it. Every time I think about the memory of coming here, there's a fresh start. And what this school district has done for my family is absolutely priceless. I want to introduce a young lady tonight that I'm very, very proud of her. She graduated in 2003 with honors, then went on to Hardin Simmons to graduate with honors And this is my daughter, Amanda Vasilik. So Amanda, will you come up here? And tell us what you do. I'm going to put her on the spot. She's kind of shy and bashful.
Yeah, I'm this one's daughter, so, yeah, I'm sure you can imagine. Yes, so I was the first of the Jonas crew to go through the Gunner school system starting as a freshman in high school, and this is the longest that my family has ever lived in one place. So, major kudos to all of that. I just wanted to give a little bit of perspective. I actually came back and spoke, I was still in college, I don't remember exactly what year it was, but I spoke for a very short time. I think it was maybe a UIL awards banquet or something of that nature, just to share a little bit about how my perspective, even just, I think it was probably about 3 years out of high school, and how Gunner prepared me for college. And I mean, I will never forget being a freshman going into university, and I'm already very type A, I'm already very driven, and obviously very nerdy. So that was going to be playing in my mind of like, okay, I need to make sure that I'm caught up. It was almost shocking to me how far ahead I was compared to most of my classmates. And I was actually, because of the dual credit opportunity in Gunner, I was actually already taking second year English as a freshman. And then because my departmental advisor, the communications director for the university, was my advisor, she had me come on as an assistant to some of her freshman classes when I was a junior and senior. And seeing like freshmen write papers that I had a broken heart for, because I was like, there's no intro, middle, and ending. I don't understand how this is happening. It was such an opportunity for me to use what I learned here. And again, small classroom sizes, so much one-on-one opportunities or small group opportunities with the teachers. I know because I graduated with a small group of people, still in contact with several of them. We were all very prepared for not only university or additional studies, but also for work life after college, if they went to college, because of, I feel, what was built into us was a level of confidence, because we constantly had the support system there every step of the way. So it was an amazing experience, and I'm very grateful for it.
And she works for a worldwide corporation that does tracking around the world. So we're going to give you a couple of gifts tonight. I'm going to have Amanda pass this out. I had a friend of mine, Mimi Levels, design this in our web department. It's the GT logo. You'll notice there are 5 stars, 4 state titles for football, 1 for football, or volleyball. So she knows I'm trying to encourage people about football here. So she'll take that out. And then I got my little baby girl. How do you like good coffee? All right, come down to our world headquarters. I'll give you 2, and I will give you this. I'll give that to each one for a cup of coffee. Okay, baby, would you do that for me? Thank you. And this book is a gift from me to you by Jonathan Murphy. And I'll tell you something. The takeaways in this book is from Barnabas, from the scripture. It will really help you because, as I said, folks, we have a real desire to see unity. And I want the board to know, this team of advisors right here that you see, they're not easy on me. They're hard on me. They're grading me on my presentation tonight, right? But I wanted them to meet the best school district and the best superintendent in the state of Texas, and I truly mean that. And we want you to know we appreciate the time. So remember the 1st, August the 2nd, and as soon as we get a date nailed down next spring for the Unity Crusade, we are targeting between 200 and 300 leaders from school boards, school districts, churches, people that are elected officials. And I will tell you, the good report is, the people that I've approached said, yes, we need this like never before. And as I was traveling years ago with the power team setting up crusades across America, my dear friend Carmen, when we did the Texas Stadium event back in '94, I spent a year working all those churches. The end result was 71,000, 7,000 volunteers, 400 churches involved, and 4,000 volunteers. But the biggest thing was People came down to give their heart to Christ. It was very rewarding, so things can be done. So I believe that the best days are ahead for us as a community and as a region. Thank you for your time. We pray for you every time we go by here. It's good to see everybody. If you ever need anything, let me know. I'm here to help you out, okay? Thank you. Come and have a couple of copies and take a tour of our building. And I want you to say thank you for you guys coming tonight, making the drive on record to the big city. And the best is yet to come. We're going to be advising as we move forward to this crusade, okay? Thanks, everybody.
I have one question, John. Who's the life coach? Who's the life coach?
Evan and this wife right here, Stacy Nicole, they're my wife.
Okay, I was like, don't put that on there, don't.
Thanks, John.
And listen, guys, thanks a lot. Whatever you need help, let us know, okay? You guys ready?
We do have one more slide up, as for images.
You're at Courtney. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you. You all take care.
Camera now. Okay, I did not change today. I will not lie to you. I'm gonna give Miss Keller big time credit. I was at the elementary today, subbing, and she's a true professional because I went home and went, wow. So I've had the opportunity the last few weeks, actually last couple of months really, to be more. I've just had the opportunity to sub more, as crazy as that sounds. And it's something that I love. It is something that I never thought I would do, to be really honest with you. But Mr. Barton actually was the one that kind of put the idea in my head last year at the high school. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do it. Like, I'll try this. This is great. Like, I'll do it once a week. I can do this. And I was terrified of elementary. I never went there because I was like, I can't get the stomach bug. I don't want to get that kind of stuff. But this year I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go down there. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. That's probably my favorite campus. So just to share that a little insight as to what kind of inspired me to do it. It's not just the elementary by any means, because I've been at the middle school a lot, and we have by far great kids. I mean, we have a lot of great kids. We have a lot of little turkeys, but we have some great kids, and we have so many great teachers that being back at the elementary, that one spurred me because you get the hugs, you get the letters, somebody's coloring you a picture. I'm sure my husband was just super pumped that there's another basket that started that he thought that was ever with me keeping that stuff, but it's not. It's all back, and that is I love it. So, but the sad part is, and I don't even want to be negative because I don't. I appreciate you all. I love you. I know it, but I've said this repeatedly, I guess, a couple of times to some people, so I kind of feel like a broken record. But there's issues and there's problems, and issues are things that we really can't fix because it's like, well, there's X, Y, and Z, and we have to work around it. We have to go there's just things are tight. But there's problems. Problems have solutions. And I guess my thing is that I compare it to even my own life. If I send my husband on a job that he's never looked at before, it takes a lot longer to get it done. There's more phone calls of, wonderful things of, I didn't prepare him for whatever. If you haven't seen the job, but if you see the job, you're going to knock it in half the time, and you know what problem you're fixing. So my challenge to each of y'all is to go to the schools. And I'm not talking about just pop in at lunch and, no, I'm talking about go to school. Spend a whole day at campus. Sit down in a teacher's lounge. Let those teachers know that you are approachable. I had somebody tell me, well, actually, unfortunately, more than once, that we're not really supposed to talk to school board because they say it's a conflict. What? That broke my heart to just let y'all know. That is not why you're here. That is not why you are here to help them administer just as much as they can. It's been a great staff. I love it. I didn't really kind of go into the high school even. I used to sit with my kid and went at lunch just because I got to. Now I'm not, it's not as cool. So I'm back in the teacher's lounge. But I've gotten to know more even of the stuff, even different campuses that I hadn't been in before, because it's not like the elementary where, there's class parties and there's more of a one-on-one contact. I challenge you to go into the school. Sit down. Talk to them.
do something to kids for, go to recess. Go play Foursquare. I'm gonna tell you, I got my butt kicked today at Foursquare. So, have that interaction. I know it's challenging because I know each of you have your own jobs. I know each of you have your own things going on. But there's things that we can help them fix. I know you can help on there's little things. Ask them. Let them know you're here to help them. Because I know you want to. I know each and every single one of you in this room wants to help them. Because we have great kids. We have someone who was standing here saying that she was right, but I don't want to lose that. I knew teachers back when growing up that sent their kids to Gunner for the education. They were a step above, always. That is what we are here for, is to give ultimate education that we can get each one of these kids to prepare them for college. Are we still doing that? She's 20 years later. Do we have kids? Can we go find 2 kids from 2 years ago to give us the same story? That's my thing. That's what we're here for. We're here to give the best education we can. And I just want to make sure we can. Because if there's something I can do or there's something you can do, I know you want to do it. So, I guess I'm just challenging you. Because I know I like y'all. So, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to superintendent reports, item 4A, monthly financial reports. Ms. Fleming, the floor is yours.
We are starting on page 3 with the budget summary for the end of January. Obviously, our property taxes are rolling in because it shows that we have that 1.3 excess. So we've gotten the majority, as of now, since we're closer to the end of February, we've gotten the vast majority of our property tax money in, which is normal. So we're looking good there. Debt service is on the next page. At the end of January, we have that 2.4, which obviously we've gotten the vast majority of that property tax. And then in February, I paid the bond payments, so that will show on next month's financials. Food service, she did tell me the other day, she, I guess, isn't having as much participation this year. It's kind of slowed down than as the past few years. So when the auditor was here, she had about $17,000 she needed to spend down. So that'll probably be used with food purchases and stuff that she's going to need to make. And then page 6 is just the property tax collections. It shows we're about 84 and 86% of our collections where we're supposed to be for the entire year. On page 8 is statement of positions. We're still earning a really good interest rate. I moved some money from the bank to the Techstar today just because their interest rate is a little bit higher than what the bank is giving us right now. Not a lot, but so we made almost $291,000 in interest last month in January, so that's good. And I've also started sending all the information to the people who are going to help us with the arbitrage for our bonds, so they can get started with that, at least on the first round of bond money. She wanted to look at that within, after 2 years, which is coming up. So they'll be able to do a calculation and let us know if we owe anything back to the IRS for that first round of bond money that we received. And then the inventory of investments, it just kind of gives you a month to month, like the prior month and where we were at compared to this month. So that's all I have.
Board members have any questions? Thank you, Ms. Williams. Moving on to 4B, the first information is enrollment update, and that is on page 34. can see that we gained 2 students at the elementary. We stayed even at 368 at the middle school, and then we have dipped by 9 at the high school. Unfortunately, I think half of those 9, we passed, or the state passed a new law about vaping. All vaping is automatic DAP placement, so we've had, unfortunately, a couple of those. Half of this 9 was due to this. And so some of those families decided they would withdraw and go to homeschool instead of the DAP. So that's when you see some of that dip. And 2 of those 9 were also early graduates. They only had a few, so there's a real positive to that too, is we had 2 kids that completed their graduation requirements and are done. So that's enrollment update for you. Bond construction update, Mr. Bell?
Mr. Bell is 10 minutes out. Is there anybody to show up?
Yeah, we can, absolutely. So moving on to principal reports and goals, and we'll let Ms. Kelly.
That's all me. I found out from my colleagues, they were like, yeah, I was home taking care of my husband, and I think Josh is at a baseball game? Yes.
No, well, board members, Mr. Murphy will be giving the middle school and high school report tonight.
You want to go first?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Ms. Quanch is nursing her husband. He had surgery, a minor surgery today. And Mr. Barton is there representing and supporting our boys basketball team that is playing there, I guess it's the area. So we thank Mr. Murphy. Ms. Kelly, we thank you for being here.
Thank you. Well, I'm excited to be here and get to share with you guys. We always start off with the attendance rate, and I was looking over this. I, of course, worked on it today, but looking over it again, and my overall, I know, is not correct. I have 95%, and I do believe that was from last time. The rest of that, what I have, is correct in terms of that, but we took a really big hit. In fact, Ms. Rogers is on our campus because I need subs. The flu has hit us, COVID has hit us, this nasty stomach bug that I hope you don't get has hit us. In fact, I cringe. I'm like that shopper at Walmart that goes, I need cleanup on aisle 1. No, mine is, I need a custodian to so-and-so's room or to the cafeteria. And as a principal, my heart just goes, oh my gosh, who's gone down now? Because it's just really contagious. And it has really, it has impacted our attendance greatly. I did talk to Ms. Ballard and Ms. Slayton and I when we were discussing. I said, I'm just curious. Over an average of the last 4 weeks, on an average, how many students have we had out? And per week, it's been like 173 for the week just because of illnesses and things. We do have some teachers that have actually been out for, their kids are showing in the FFA and things like that, but we've taken a hit with illnesses, and they get well and then their children get ill, and so it's just a cycle. So yeah, we're gonna work on that. I'm praying for spring and warmer weather and germs to be gone. That's what I really need to happen in my building. That's a great need for me. The other things I'd like to share with you would be our social and emotional wellness goal. And in a minute, we're gonna talk about exciting happenings. I love this goal. It's probably one of my favorite because it is student owned, and they really have just done a great job. For the month of February, our 3rd graders are doing our Tigers Helping Tigers project, and they're asking and collecting blankets for the Settlers Ridge home in Salina. And there are 110 residents, and so that's our students' goal, is they want every resident to have a blanket. They presented our Good Morning Tigers, and they're working to their goal. Currently, we have 24 blankets, and my leadership team from 3rd grade came to tell me that, and they're like, we just have 24. I go, that's 24 that you didn't have to start with. And we're going to do another push through social media to see if we can get some of those blankets. But it's more than just that collecting. It's the kids learning empathy and to watch their excitement
in working towards something that's going to impact others, it's been a really big blessing to see that happen. So this is one of my favorite goals. Our innovative learning goal, we don't have any current grade level projects that are being worked on, but we do have some for the future. I know first grade is going to start their animal project, research project coming up. So I really don't have anything to report there. In terms of our future ready goal, this has been an exciting, we've just been busy. You know how sometimes in the throes of life, it's just, it's grit, and it has been grit this week. I will tell you, and probably last week too, because we've been doing, we're finishing up our middle of the year data testing, and then we schedule individual, Ms. Brecken and I do individual data conferences with every teacher to know students by name and need and to celebrate growth. And typically we start out with our name and need, but then we really get to celebrate, and that's been exciting to see. Through that, our MAT testing, we get to see some tremendous growth. So with those, we've been analyzed that, and the teachers, I'll mention a little bit more later about what they've shared with us. But the teachers then take that and they apply it to our growth and mindset goal, which is where they're working with our students to set individual goals for themselves. And that's one thing I've been very adamant to them through our data conferences is be transparent with them. I mean, our kids, they need ownership to that too. So celebrate with them the growth and let's set new goals that we really want to continue growing. So classroom news, this is where I get to celebrate things happening in our classroom or individual teachers, and talking with Ms. Brecken, I'm like, who do we want to celebrate? There's all kinds of teachers to celebrate. And one that came to mind has just been, she has truly been a rock for us. The teacher we'd like to brag on is Ms. Johnson, Lori Johnson. She is our instructional aide for the library, but she does way more than that. And I said that Ms. Johnson has been a valuable asset to our campus this year, but even more so these past 2 months with the increase in illness and the increase of absences of our teachers. We put in for subs, and sometimes subs have to cancel because life happens for them too. And so we pull Miss Johnson and I go, today you're teaching 4th grade. When she tries to avoid me, I will tell you that, because she sees me coming out at morning arrival and I go, oh, Miss Johnson. But she's so willing, she's so flexible. She goes, yes, Mrs. Keller, wherever you want me. And she just goes, and whatever the grade level, whatever the task, she helped me with testing this week, monitoring bathrooms, and because we do have to do that. And we just appreciate her flexibility and her attitude. It's just been great. So we want to recognize her. We also want to share with you that, well, I'll just read it to you. It says some other exciting classroom news involves Miss Needham's 2nd grade classroom and our new custodian. Her name is Desiree Malden, and Miss Malden has been writing notes of encouragement each evening and challenging students and encouraging students to take ownership of their learning environment and making connections with them. Miss Needham went to her because she cleans at night, and they were talking about what they could do to help her, and she leaves them notes and says, great job, you did a great job with this area. And then she said, let's see if we can pick up more crayons tomorrow. And the kids take it as a challenge, and they rush in every morning to see what the message is going to be from Miss Malden. That's connections. That's what we do. That's what we do well here. And so to learn that this new custodian that has only been with us a short amount of time has already connected with a classroom of students is pretty powerful. So we want to recognize her for that. And then with my other recognition would be our bus drivers. It's National Bus Driver Week, and let me tell you, we have some of the finest, and they care. They communicate with me about any needs I have, and I just want to do a shout out to them because they are a vital part of our success at the elementary and taking care of our babies every single day. So I want to do a shout out to them. And then the next bullet that I have is the exciting happenings at GES. And as I mentioned above, our Tigers Helping Tigers project has been very impactful for our school community, and our students have learned how to be empathetic and giving to others. In January, I don't know if you remember, but our 2nd grade had the Tigers Helping Tigers Challenge, and they were collecting socks for the Texoma Family Shelter, and they collected 639 pairs of socks to share. So with our community's help, and it's exciting, and they were thrilled about it too. So I I want to brag on that for a minute. And then I wanted to share that we have been doing testing, and that has probably been really exciting for Ms. Brackeen and I, because our teachers are all of us with excitement about the growth and the evidence of student growth that they're seeing in their data. They stop us in the hallways and they beam with pride when they get to show us how much their students have grown. And I want to say that we are beaming with pride at the success of our teachers. It's an exciting time to sit and talk about what you're doing to impact the lives of our little students, and those teachers are amazing. We found out just today, to talk about excitement, that we learned from our interim reading STAR assessment, which is what we did that on Wednesday, and today we finished up our math interim. It's a practice mock STAR. It helps our kids kind of get the stamina, and it's kind of deceiving in a way because it's only like 20-something questions, and our STAR will be much longer than that. But from that, we also gained data, instant data, and we found out that 15 out of our 21 third and fourth grade dyslexic students are projected to meet or master on the reading STAR this spring. And that is huge. We are so excited, proud of our reading teachers, and Miss Inslee, our dyslexia teacher, is incredible. She's a blessing. So we're excited about that, and we can't celebrate our fabulous teachers enough with that. And then lastly, we have a very special celebration and excitement tomorrow. Mr. Meyer Dirk's birthday is going to be celebrated at Good Morning Tigers, and we hope you can join us. We will be singing and dancing, and Miss Bryce is subbing for us, so I've already got her lined out as well. So if you can join us, please come join us at 8 o'clock in the morning for our Good Morning Tigers. Thank you guys for letting me brag.
Please video that.
Oh, okay, I will.
Thank you, Ms. Allen.
You're welcome.
Okay,
Thank you, Mr. Murphy.
hey, you bet, no problem. So it's 6:31 right now, we're a minute into the Tiger basketball game, so.
Did you get a score already?
No, I didn't, but you might see me after I read this, walk out that door, because I plan on getting to the game as soon as possible. So just so you know, so I probably won't do as good a job as Ms. Quanch and Mr. Barton, but I may throw in a few extra tidbits about our goals and where we want to be as a district. So just talking about attendance, Ms. Keller's right, there's so many challenges just with sickness and everything else going on. We're proud that our students get to go and do things, so going to stock shows and all those extra things, that's what it's all about. There's more to education and educating our students than what's inside the four walls of a classroom. So we're proud that they get to go and do that, but we still have to have really high goals for attendance. And we're always going to have those high expectations, despite what sicknesses are going on, because there's nobody that teaches a classroom like the classroom teacher. So having a sub in there every day really hurts the process. And we need our students there too, so they can learn and be there and learn it firsthand. So I said all that to say this, our goal in our district probably should be 97%. That's really lofty because most school districts are lucky to hit 95 and that. So even with all these sicknesses, we're hitting at a high 95 and some in the 96 range. So I'll kind of follow the middle school and high school at the same time. Middle school, 5th grade is at 95.9. 6th grade, 95.12, 7th grade, 94.04, 8th grade, 94.87, or 8th grade, I mean, and then 9th grade is 96.8, so they're doing a really good job getting there. They're almost reaching that high expectation. 10th grade, 96.1, 11th grade, 95.4, and 12th grade, 95.7. As a high school principal, it's always a battle with those 11th and 12th graders, so. They're doing a really good job, but again, 97% is there. We need to kind of push and keep doing that. And part of that's on us as a campus. We got to have incentives. We can't just always follow the negative side, the truancy and all that. We got to put incentives out there and really be dynamic in the classroom. The kids want to come and be a part of what we're doing, and also give them those incentives where, hey, I'm here every day. There's some type of award or recognition that goes a long way. Everybody wants to be recognized in a positive way. So the next thing. And I'll just do the middle school first. Excuse me. Innovative Learning Go. Our team leadership classes visited the Senior Living Center in Prosper for Valentine's Day. Our campus collected chocolates and stuffed animals for the seniors, and about 20 students got to go deliver all that. The students, from what I heard about that, they had a great time. They got to learn there's many ways to serve your community, and being able to go and visit with the seniors was a great experience for them. Now the Future Ready goal for the middle school, middle year math assessments were complete and data was reviewed. as a staff on February 7th. On the February 7th staff meeting, the goal is to speak with students about growth in student-friendly terms and concentrate on strengths and weaknesses. Overall, students are extremely successful on assessments. The growth that we're seeing is smaller because of the high rate of success. Our job as a school now is how to push and extend students who are already successful. And just to talk a little bit about MAP testing, and this is for all levels. MAP testing is really important because you should see a lot of growth from the beginning of the year. Kind of sets the standard, like where our kids are at, how much they retain over the summer. And then the middle of the year kind of gives you like, hey, this is how we're teaching so far, how much growth. But that data set right there is so important, especially in the tested subject areas, because now you can pinpoint what areas you need to focus on. So those are really important. But just talking about going over the data with the students, I know like one of our goals right now is to put the data in the students' hand where they can learn to read their own data. And once they do that, they can set their own goals, and we were showing them the beginning of the year MAP testing, the middle of the year, and the end of the year, and then also the other benchmarks and assessments we're doing. They can really like see their own growth. Whenever a student can see like, hey, in October I was here, and then I tested again in December and I'm here, they're like, hey, I read more, or I did something else, and now they know like, hey, my hard work really means something. I can admit that growth, but it's up to us to teach them how to do that. They're not going to do that on their own, and parents aren't going to know how to do that. So we need to continue to teach that, put it in the hands of the kids. And so I'm proud that they're putting it in there and going over the data with the kids. To continue with that, the 8th grade students had 9th grade course options meeting with the high school staff and looked at their 4-year plans with Mr. Barton and the counselors, and that went really well. They went over what pathway they're going to go into and what their goals are as they go into high school. Classroom news, Mr. Eaton, high school physics teacher, who graciously took on a middle school STEM class this year, has been hard at work exposing students to science and technology lessons. In February, they did a really cool project. They built rockets and launched them. They had a contest who could sit at the highest. And I don't know if y'all know Mr. Eaton, but that guy is super. I mean, he's one of the best. And then happening in victories, both girls and boys basketball teams had great seasons. The 7th grade A team got 3rd in district. 8th grade A were district champs. The 8th grade boys team were also district champs. We're excited for our county livestock show, and we do have a lot of middle school kids that show. And middle school students are participating in a robotics contest as well. So that's what's going on at the middle school. As far as the high school innovative learning goal, God, he types small. Floral design, you may need to hold this, I can't. The floral design students made candy bouquets for our Valentine's Day fundraiser, so students could gain real world experience designing products and then purchasing them. They also went through the sales process of putting it out there, collecting the orders, and then making them. Future ready goal. We had students that competed in the HOSA competition. HOSA stands for Health Occupation Students of America. We have 6 going on to state. The students that competed in the EMT contest got the gold award. The state qualifier was Carrie Watkins and Isabella Davis. Nurse assisting silver was Peyton Beavers. Medical assisting, 2nd place, also state qualifier, Savannah McQuillan, and bronze was Gisela Mercado. Practical nursing, we won that one also. Aubrey Birchfield is going to state. Basic health skills, we won that one as well. Bailey Ivy is going to state. And dental assisting, we got 2nd. And also going to state with that one is Mackie Cox. Okay, and then happenings and victories. Girls basketball team finished the season with a tough loss to Ponder in the area around. They finished as district champs and had several all-district awards. Boys, like I said, are playing right now. They're playing Ponder in the area around, and hopefully we win against them tonight. It's a tough contest for us. We had multiple athletes compete in area and district wrestling. They represented Gunner well. Blake Garcia advanced to the state meet. We have a variety of events taking place right now. Tennis, baseball, softball, track, FFA shows, and the county show is coming up this weekend. They just finished San Antonio. Houston will be after the county show. We have a blood drive going on and so much more. So just kind of, follow the Facebook page, and we'll try to keep you posted on everything that's going on. So that's the middle school and high school. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Murphy, if you don't mind sticking around to the end, so can, I'm joking. Send us some text.
Real loud for us.
We're gonna move back to bond construction update. That is okay? Leave, page 35.
Appreciate that very much. I'll start with the high school. Building A is progressing. We've got the roof on it. We've actually got the insulation on it as well. So we got that covered. Moving into the interior of building A. We do have metal studs going in. In addition, we have passed our mechanical inspection. So we've got the mechanical units that are in there, all the ductwork, electricians have roughed everything in there. Moving on to building C. That pad is complete. We have the drill rig that will mobilize Monday, so we'll start drilling over there Monday and then start those foundation systems there. B, we did have to retest. So that test did go back. We had it completed today, so we should get results by Tuesday. Then we'll transition back over there and build that pad and complete it. We are working on the middle school right now, the south end in that multi-purpose area. Those compactions did come back, we passed those. So when the drill rig moves out of B, we'll move back over there, so those are 24-inch piers. So we'll move back over there. We're in the process of completing the north end, the gymnasium area, the storm shelter. That pad is a little bit elevated, so we have some more dirt that's coming in, so they're working on that right now. I think we have 13 more roads that are coming Monday, so we'll start working on compaction on that. So it should just sequence that we'll go from C, fall back over to the south end of the gymnasium, complete that, and then when they're done, we'll move over to building B. So it's kind of progressing through there. Moving over to the elementary school, which is the exciting one. It's been pretty eventful in the last few days. I don't know if y'all had an opportunity to go back through there, drive through there. The ICF is going up. That's the big white block that you'll see right now. We've got our inspection that passed, so we're planning on pouring those walls. Those are the 18-foot walls that are up there. So we're planning on pouring that. We did get loads of steel that have been coming in, and the crane did mobilize last night, yesterday afternoon. So they were standing steel today. So you'll see some steel that's been erected. Panels are up. As the building progresses, we're working counterclockwise, so it sequences from A bound to E. So we have sequence A that was poured, that's where the storm shelter is at, so that's the ICF blocks. So when you come over to B, that's where we're starting to stand the steel. C will be placed next week sometime, and then we'll just progress our way down through there. Preston Crossing, we have that excavated. Line is scheduled for Monday. That'll be about a 3-4 day process, so we'll blend it all in. We'll get those. That area is slip formed, so that's a complete unit that'll run. It's about 500 foot of concrete. So it's a parabolic crown, so it's one unit that comes all the way down there. So we should have that completed mid-March, and then we'll have our cure time, and then once we're done with our cure time on that, we'll open it back up. Right now, we're temporarily cutting through Carson Ridge Pass. We hope to have that wrapped up, like I said, within the next 3 weeks. As soon as we get our approvals on opening up Preston Crossing, we're going to close Carson Ridge down, and everybody's going to come through Preston Crossing. So it's pretty busy if y'all have an opportunity to come through there. So, any questions? Sequence? Nothing? We did get grading on this out here for you guys. We got a little bit more to do. We're also going to broadcast some rye out there, so we'll get a stand so it won't wash out for you. North end of the athletic complex, we've got some more dirt that's coming over there. We got some loam we're going to drop out there. We'll broadcast. Hopefully that'll take stand so that they can progress with their track season too as well. So,
Thank you.
thank you very much.
Moving on to item B4, upcoming events and meeting dates. That's back on page 1. The only thing not in there is we're still trying to set up a firm date for Team of 8 training. And I still need 2 responses, and I'll get with you guys afterwards. I don't want to put anybody on the spot right now. It sounded like March 27th. was not Miss Hales. I'm gonna cover her, it's not Miss Hales, so. But it's looking like it may be March 27th, and I can wrap that up, send that out to y'all, send you your calendar invites, so it'll pop up on there. But that's the only thing that's not there on page 1.
Go over the updates that we're doing at 15-minute training.
Yes, one of the things we discussed last month during my evaluation in that process was just learning more about that process and the timeline of it and so forth. So I'm going to ask Mr. Williams, when he comes to do that training, to devote part of that time so we can discuss superintendent evaluation and the process and the timelines. And this will be excellent because he's superintendent for many years, so we can even share what he went through with his various boards. So thank you for reminding me.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So that's what I have for communications. Moving on to board member reports. We just have the board training update. Ms. Watson said that those are in your binder. Each one's in your binder. They're 23-24 all. If you have a question or an issue, just reach out to Stacy and she'll cover that for you guys. And then the May 2024 election update, place 1, Ms. Shelley Hales. So sign-ups closed last Friday at 5 o'clock, and Ms. Hales is unopposed in position 1. In position 2, we have Mr. Meyerdirt and Mr. Jerry Harris Jr. running for place 2. And that's all I have for board member report. Moving on to consent agenda.
Looks like our consent agenda consists of the minutes from January 18th, 2024, and the bills for both GISD and GCSEC. Does anyone wish to pull anything from the consent agenda? Is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda as presented? A motion to adopt it. Thank you. Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right. Moving on to new business or regular business, consideration of 24-25 instructional calendar. Sent you guys the whole kit and caboodle there. So the first page, beginning on page 65, is the proposed calendar. But to share with you how we got to that proposed calendar. So Mr. Murphy, Mr. Bell and I, Ms. Floyd, running off feedback we got from this year's calendar we're currently in. We created 3 calendars looking at our neighboring districts, again, considering feedback from last year. And we created 3 calendars and went to the campuses. At the elementary campus, we addressed the calendar during a faculty meeting after school. Had what I thought to be a good conversation. It lasted a little bit longer than I think what everybody anticipated. One of the pieces of feedback we got from that was the length of the school day. And so, having gone there with 3 calendars, we came away with 4 options, and so that would have been option B. What we did with that was create a calendar basing on a 445-minute school day, because we're currently at a 460-minute school day. So again, that was option D that you saw in there. You see you lose some of your breaks. So we took those 4, and at the middle school, the way that feedback worked, Mr. Bell camped out in the middle school workroom all day, one day. Had lots of one-on-one conversation, 1-on-3, 2, but it was up on the monitor like this. Teachers came in all day long. He sat that's the deal and brought that feedback back. In typical high school fashion, having been a former high school principal, we send out the calendar options, come talk to us, bring feedback. So we reached out to all 3 campuses, and that's how we got option A, B, C, and D. We sent those options out to a faculty and staff survey. I think that was on the results of that were page 68. You see the faculty and staff. So they primarily liked options A and B. We sent those 2 options out in a community survey. You can see the number of responses there, and that the community liked or preferred option B. So there's one more step in that process. After you get all that information, you go to your district advisory committee. We sat down with them, had a great conversation, great feedback. So using option B to start our conversation, since that's what the faculty and staff pushed for, that's what the community pushed for, we started with option B. We had some great feedback, but what we changed, if I can get all this correct, in option B, you had a day off September 20th. And that committee asked, can we push that down to December 20th and make that Friday a holiday? Because originally in option B, it was a work day. When we started having that conversation, teachers asked, well, does it have to be a work day, or it can, I think in the past we called it a flex day. We've gotten very professional, and now we're calling it professional exchange day. So we changed it from a work day to professional exchange day. What that is, for people maybe like, what in the world are we talking about? Our teachers work throughout the summer. Even though they're not on contract, they're going to workshops, they're doing book studies, they're working on lesson plans. And so that's how we, I won't say compensate, but that's how we adjust. You work in the summer, you're earning that time. And so those pink days in there that are professional exchange days. So they asked me to change that a work day to a professional exchange day, and that's what we did with the 19th when we slid that over. And so the first semester would end on December 18th. Another adjustment that we made, option B had Monday, October 21st was a professional development day. And that, we hold true to that day because that's when we meet our Title I requirements of having parent-teacher conferences at the elementary level. So there was a recommendation made by a very smart lady, one of the smartest people I know, and asked if we could move it from the 21st up to the 15th, and that in a way would create a fall break for us, because we know a lot of districts have a fall break, so we'd be stringing those together instead of having two separate Mondays. Thought that was an excellent suggestion. And then the other adjustment to option B was Friday, May 9th was a red day, that bad weather day. And they asked if we could move that up to Friday, February 14th. It's still a bad weather day, but now you create a 4-day weekend. And I think that recommendation came as we had just had a Monday off, and all our neighboring districts were about to go into their 4-day weekend. So it made sense to make that adjustment. So I want you to know that the proposed calendar was a mix of all that. The community, faculty, and staff wanted B. We sat down with our district advisory committee as a mixture of teachers, administrators, parents, board members, and I think those adjustments made a lot of sense, and I think everyone would be happy with this choice. And this would be my recommendation to the board for 24-25. That was a lot.
Moving that December 20th helps with attendance.
Yes, that was,
Go to state again.
thank you, Ms. Bernard, that's true. And that's why we had that work day on the 20th. If we continue to have the type of success we've had in the past, that day after that state game has been extremely poor student attendance. Fantastic teacher attendance, but poor student attendance, and so that's why we originally made that a work day. But then it made a lot of sense to let's just move September 20th down, make that a day off, and make that work day professional exchange day. I keep wanting to use flex day.
So assuming that we would go back to state, that's the 19th.
Yes, ma'am, and it would be,
Nice.
it would be an 11, it would be, this year, that year, it would be an 11 o'clock kickoff instead of the 3 o'clock. Or, I'm sorry, we did the 3 o'clock instead of the 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
You're still taking, we would probably be dismissing for a whole day to allow the community to get there. And so that's why we made it an exchange. That's why we were making it a work day, but it makes more sense to make it an exchange.
So option A is the one that we.
Well, no, ma'am, it is option B.
But it was
Okay,
that's what I
modified at the request of teachers and parents.
I was going to say.
Again, I really enjoyed that meeting. There's a lot of good feedback and a lot of conversation went into it. And the reasons they made it make perfect sense.
Awesome. Good.
Any thoughts? Is there a motion to approve the 2024-2025 instructional calendar as presented?
I'll make a motion to follow you.
I'll make a motion.
There you go.
Thank you. Great discussion.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Yes.
Good collaboration.
Absolutely.
And thank you for sitting on that.
It was really informational, great to hear from the teachers, from administrators, and
Good.
it's good.
Good. That's good.
No, Ms. Bernard, she said, we're having this winter break. I'm not leaving this room.
Better put down.
Who's going to give a response when she asks?
I'm tired of hearing all this talk about fall break, and I'm like, what fall break?
Let's create it. Good. Okay, with that, it looks like we are recessing into closed session. The board will now adjourn into executive session pursuant to the following sections of the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Section 551.072, to deliberate the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property, Section 551.074, to discuss personnel, and Section 551.076, to discuss school safety. And I have the time as 6:57.
All right. Thank you.
You're ready.